And welcome back to our next episode of Austin and Friends, the show that is designed to bring industry experts and discuss what makes them and what motivates them in business. Today, I'm honored to have one Lisa Fuller with me of Fuller Insurance and Associates to discuss about the world of insurance and ways that insurance can benefit the general public. So, Lisa, thank you for joining me today. I definitely appreciate it. So if you wouldn't mind, share a little bit with our followers today about your story, about how you got started within the industry.
Well, my story is I was a single mom with a sick child, and my brother owned an agency, and he said, why don't you come help me in my agency? So I did. And then he said, why don't you get licensed? And I said, yeah, I don't want to do insurance. It's boring. But I got my license to help him. And I was able to help him for quite a bit of time. And then when my daughter passed away, I actually worked for him for a while. But, brother and sister working together isn't always the best. So I moved on, worked for a large agency, and then applied to Erie Insurance to open my own agency. But they weren't appointing new agents at the time. But they said, we need you as a district sales manager. So I applied for that. And I worked as a district sales manager for Erie Insurance for a number of years. I had a territory from Elkton all the way down to DC, and I helped a lot of new agents get started. I helped existing agents. Existing agents helped me. So I really learned a lot about the industry between the corporate education and all the different agencies, small and large. I learned what I wanted to do, what I didn't want to do, what they did well, what some people didn't do well. And after a while, I decided that I can work 14-hour days for myself instead of for the company.
Right.
So I opened my own agency, and then that was 2008, though, where the economy wasn't that good. And after a while, one of my employees left, and my brother lost an employee, so we decided to merge that book of business. I still kept my agency, and so now we work together. That's my sister agency, but owned by my brother. We work together, so that's beautiful because I've got my own agency, which I'm a veteran. It's a woman-owned, veteran-owned agency, and then his agency has different carriers. So I can sell all his carriers, he can sell all my carriers. So for the client that comes to us, it's wonderful. They work with whoever they want to work with, and they get the full menu of options.
Excellent. So staying on that topic, would you say that the world of insurance is a rewarding career path for those who may be interested in pursuing that in the future?
Well, considering I thought it was boring and it's not, and I've recruited a number of people into the industry myself, and they love it and they're thriving, and it's a great career. It's a great way to be a professional. There's so much to learn. And you can choose a path that fits your interest. If you want to be in commercial, if you want to be in personal, if you want to work as a sales manager, if you want to work in the corporate headquarters, if you want to do training, there's so many options and so much opportunity because in this field, there's really a lot of aging people. They're aging out. And there aren't that many young people that are looking at insurance and saying, oh, wow, I want that for a career. You're pretty much brought into the industry by a family member who says you would be good at this. So the great thing is you really don't have to have a degree to get into insurance. You just have to have good critical thinking skills. So for the people who maybe have graduated high school and didn't have the opportunity to go to college, there's a lot of opportunity in insurance. And there's also the ability for you to take training once you're in insurance. You can get degrees, and of course, the more degrees you achieve or certifications, the further you can go. But you can do it all on your own.
Excellent. So switching gears, being in the industry for many years, you've probably seen a lot of accidental horror stories. What are some of your favorites that have come to mind as far as coverage goes, as far as horror stories from the insurance aspect?
Well, they're not all mine, but one of our favorites is one of our insureds was renting a condo in Ocean City, and he had popped some popcorn and it burnt, And so he opened up the door and threw it out back into the bushes. Well, a little while later, the neighbor knocked on the door because the deck was on fire. So the popcorn had caught the dead bushes or plant on fire, and then the deck, and then the whole unit. Well, that was a big loss. So where was the money for that coming from, since they were just renting this condo in Ocean City? Well, it turned out, it was a young man, and his father had rented the condo for them, and his father had an umbrella policy. And not a lot of people talk about an umbrella policy, but it's an extra layer of coverage that provides coverage over top of your home and your auto policy and for your personal liability. So this was personal liability, and that claim was paid through this umbrella policy. Oh, and it was maybe 20 years ago, back when people didn't really have umbrella policies. So that was a bad story, good outcome.
Okay. And I want to thank you for making sure that I personally have an umbrella policy, because I am insured by Lisa Fuller. So staying on that topic, what are some common losses that you're seeing become more and more common in today from both the home and the auto side of insurance claims?
Well, on the home, let's talk about that. And one of those is water claims that stem from a failed sump pump.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a sump pump and it runs, sometimes the motor burns out, or if you have no power, then sometimes it doesn't run because there's no power to operate it. And when water comes in and it can't be removed quickly, then it floods out your basement, your furniture, your carpet, all your stored holiday decorations, and that's very expensive to clean up. Mm-hmm. But the real key is you actually have to have a special endorsement on your homeowner's policy in order for coverage to apply to that. So a lot of homeowners don't have that, or they have a limited amount of coverage, like $5,000 or $25,000, which isn't enough if you have a finished basement. So I recommend that they look at their policy for that specific coverage. And the other thing is to just go online and buy Wi-Fi enabled water sensors that are going to give you an alarm if your sump pump fails, if your water heater bursts, if your washing machine hoses come apart, or your refrigerator line. Put them under your sinks. It'll save you a deductible, a headache, and a claim, because claims are expensive, inconvenient, and they will give you a surcharge on your policy at renewal. So I would say that. And again, on homes, take care of your roof, because the insurance carriers are really cracking down on old roofs with missing shingles, roofs that are showing signs of wear, even streaking. And now some of them are not even wanting to look at homes with roofs over 15 years old. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the auto, take a look at your liability limits. In this do-it-yourself era that we're in, it's very easy to want to go online and get your policy and the sliding bar that says, make it cheaper. Well, just think, when you're making it less expensive, you're giving away coverage. But what is that coverage? Do you understand what that coverage is? So it's okay, look online, but then buy from an agent, because many times you can buy the exact same policy from an agent without any difference in price, but now you have an agent who's representing you, or at least explaining to you what the coverage means. So many people just buy it and they spend a lot of money on it, but they really don't know how it's protecting them or how it's not protecting them, or what they might have waived. So I often see a critical coverage get waived when people buy online.
And I think you touched on something that was important about understanding your coverage limits. And I'll say, as I was building my family, you were a critical part of the piece to make sure that I was protected down to the new home. I said, hey, talk to Lisa. She'll let me know what I need to do. And then lo and behold, a year into us living there, we woke up with a flooded first floor. And I said, Lisa, you told me what I need to do. You took care of everything and made everything whole, versus, some other people that may look at some of these internet insurance and not talking with somebody and not being attached to someone they can talk through the process and things, because it is a lot. It is a lot. And you're still working, even down to the recent fix. My wife called and you called them and set them straight, and they sent the regional manager there to make sure that it was fixed. But these are the important things when you're dealing with an agent and going to an agency that a lot of people don't talk about. So I thank you for that. Staying on there, so we're talking about from the home aspect and the auto, what are some limits that you're seeing people decrease that is really something that they should really think about not decreasing? Like what limits and what things of that nature so people can look while they're at home?
Well, they want to decrease their bodily injury limits, and I would recommend against that because that's what's protecting you from being sued. So the higher bodily injury limits you can handle on your auto, the better. And if you want to reduce your premium, then you should consider higher deductibles because that gives you some skin in the game too. So you're more likely to maybe be more careful as a driver or download the app. Most companies have an app for you to download so you can track how good of a driver you are. It'll give you either a discount or a gift card, but that's a great way to save, and I think it's the future of the industry as well. On the homeowners side, same thing. Higher deductible will be a lower premium, but then you also want to make sure that you're taking care of your property and that there's no cracks in your sidewalk and that you know, if you have a dog, that you're careful with your dog. That's one of the biggest claims. And again, the Wi-Fi enabled water sensors, you're going to catch something before it becomes a problem. So there's a lot of risk management techniques, and your agent can help you with those, and we would love to help you with those.
All right, excellent. So as we begin to finish up with today's episode, what are some key takeaways that you want somebody who may be listening in to think about or consider when talking with an insurance agent or just insurance as a whole?
So you should tell your insurance agent everything. You should be upfront and honest with them about who's living in your house. If you're running a business from your home, they need to know that. Do not hide things from your agent because some carriers allow certain things and other carriers don't. So you don't want to be with a carrier that excludes something that's going on at your house, like a trampoline or a home-based business. So you want your agent to be able to properly insure you. And if you hide something from them, they can't. And we want to be honest with you too and let you know that, well, if you have a yoga studio in your home, then this homeowner's policy is not the right one for you because any of that activity would be excluded. Mm-hmm. So, but there are many things that could be covered the right way if you have a talented agent that knows how to modify the coverage and has a variety of carriers. So we're an independent agency, and I do recommend an independent agency because we have the ability to select from a variety of carriers that best meet your needs, not our needs. And some other companies only have one product and one offering, and one size does not fit all. But the bottom line is talk to your agent, be honest, get feedback, and you will get the right policy.
Excellent. So Lisa, not only on behalf of my family, but also followers, I want to thank you for joining us today and sharing some insight about insurance. And if you are interested in learning more, Lisa, where can they find you or be able to connect with you?
So I'm Fuller and Associates Insurance and right in Bel Air over by Bel Air High School. And the phone number is 410-914-5467. Of course, we have a website, which is insurewithfuller.com.
All right, thank you. And be sure to tune in for our next episode as we dive into the wonderful world of business. And if you are a business owner out there watching this episode and would like to display and showcase your business, be sure to click the link in our bio to submit a form. We would love to have you. Thank you.